So I just had a project kind of come back from, we'll call it from the dead. It's not really dead. It was just, I thought we were done. It's this blue house here. It's quite nice. We had done a major renovation on the house. And in the basement, we didn't really touch much. We just changed the finishes. Um, so I was surprised when I got a call from the owner saying, hey, the buyers of the house um, have a structural issue. I'm like, what are we talking about? We didn't touch any structural walls. If anything, we added walls, but we didn't take any away. Because the house originally had these very large, well, extremely large rooms that we were able to chop up and add. Like, it had a bathroom that was almost like 20 foot by 10 foot. And so we chopped it up into two 10 by 10 bathrooms and made a real main suite. So I was surprised when I got that call and went to go check it out. And we found that whoever they bought the house from essentially hid a structural issue. In the basement was, and I'm going to try to make sure I put the image right here, was a beam that had a splice in it, had a split in it, where two beams come together. And they put a plate, but the plate wasn't even close to big enough, long enough, etc., to be sufficient. So we had our structural engineer go, and he's like, "Hey, let's just put a column underneath this with a new plate, and jack and level the house and all that jazz." And they had their structural engineer come, and their structural engineer was I can't think. I'm trying to think of the right word without being. I don't want to say he was anything insulting. He was very competent and did not want to make any recommendations without doing a full analysis of all the framing and structure of the house, which is fair. Except that also means you're opening up a lot of walls in the house to see what's behind it. The house is over 100 years old, and there's some assumptions that can be made as to what's going on with some of the framing because the framing of all these houses is relatively similar. And he has a point. Like, you don't truly know. You can't say with 100% certainty until you examine it. But there's reasonable assumptions. The house is sinking in one place. You open up the ceiling there. You see that there's a split in the beam. There's a plate in which somebody tried to fix it. You can even see marks where they had their temporary column set up to install the plate from whoever previously did it. So now we're having this sort of engineer to engineer plus architect conversation back and forth. And now I'm actually reaching out to, like, so the homeowner had his engineer, the buyers had their engineer. I'm actually reaching out to my engineer now to be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking, because my engineer and we have a relationship where we're able to sort of bounce creative ideas off of each other. And he agrees generally, or comes up with sometimes, most of the time, actually, I'll say better ideas. Um, yeah. I think what I'm feeling is hungry because I have not eaten and I need to. I just need to eat. I'm hungry. I need to eat. I need food. I might be hangry. I'm trying to keep this smile on my face. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's going on. It has nothing to do with this house. I'm hangry.